That's right, episode 202, baby. The Think Fresh train is pulling into the station.
Honk. How you doing?
Good, Eric. I'm really just vibing out today. It's a blustery, snowy day outside the area. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like a little falafel in here in a little toaster oven. I got the Rick Owens and Aesop candle, a blow-in. I'm getting toasty on the outside. I'm still frozen cold on the inside. I got an ice cold heart like the weekend.
I appreciate you reiterating the fact that you have a Rick Owens candle burning for me and the guests right now, because I have one as well. And, you know, just like the Parmesan shaker at Subway, it is coming down outside, and I gotta say, I love it. I feel so cozy in here with my Aesop amenities and this beautiful light that's coming into my apartment, and this little like snow tornado that's forming in the courtyard. It's kind of nice.
It really is blustering. I think it's cool we're in the same candle clan. That was why I lit mine as I saw yours. I could basically smell yours through our MacBooks.
There's a, you know, Soldier Boy says, kiss me through the phone, but Think Fresh says, smell me through the Zoom, because I see this this white ceramic cup glowing right now, Ty, and it feels really good.
Dude, the way it's lighting up your face right now is like a Christmas tree lighting up a smiling child. Or you look like the artist when they open the toaster. When they open the toaster and they get that red glow on their face.
Yeah, the red glow is iconic, Ty. I will not be copying a Christmas tree this year. I'm just going to be huddled around my Rick Owens Aesop candle. But all the presents will be underneath it as well.
I bet most sandwich artists, like the lower half of their face is more tanned than the upper half of their face. Like you get that toaster tan from opening the oven all day and getting blitzed by that heat.
Looking spooky as ever. Wow. That you got to protect yourself from things like that. You know, no long hair. You know, your hair has to be in a hair net. No scarves, no long sleeves. All of these things can catch on fire if you're operating a, you know, industrial sized toaster like at Subway. I remember when I used to work at Save On Foods, it was the same thing, because any of those things could also get caught in the deli slicer. And, you know, worst case, it, you know, could catch your hair and it would pull you down and cut your head open.
That does sound like worst case. Oh my God. You don't want to get slurped up in there like milk to go. Eric to go.
Exactly, Eric to go, strawberry flavor. It's unbelievable the things that, you know, you hear about in the onboarding process at a deli, Ty.
Yeah, real talk. Damn, that seems scary to be like you're just slicing up some pepperoni for your fat client, and it's pretty whack, but you get whacked by the deli slicer.
Yeah, I know, right? Your loyal client Bill comes over and he says, "Let me get 300 of the head cheese," and he was not expecting you to, you know, take it that literally.
Yeah. I never really thought about like workplace safety as a requirement for the sandwich artist wardrobe, but it absolutely is. Not just the toasting, Eric, but think about the sandwich preparation. Like, you don't need those like Princess Belle sleeves on your cardigan getting caught in the marinara sauce. That's a health hazard.
You're absolutely right. And do they have aprons nowadays? I don't remember if they do or not, but the apron is a key element in protecting the Subway tailored garments.
Not only that, but I like as a patron, I like the additional layer of fabric protection between my sandwich and my artist's groin. Like the more things we can put in between those two things, the better. Like I would like a little chastity belt there too.
I would like an additional sneeze guard actually on, you know, that was like waist high, because when you think about it, the cutting board is right where the other 6 inches are. located, Ty. They're right next to each other. And,
Right.
one slip and that bread knife could go from the cutting board to cutting dick.
Wow. So really, we're protecting both our assets and theirs with a tool like this.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
Exactly.
that too, Eric. The sneeze of the lower body is a fart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're not careful, Ty, you might find an extra calamari in your sandwich.
That's nasty as hell.
I know.
Damn.
Damn. Good thing we had
Uh,
lunch already.
yeah. So I feel like extra thick denim, like a nice like 18-ounce like raw denim would be important. Nice and stiff.
Nice
Just
and stiff.
keep everything down and contained back like when you buy a sandwich.
Hmm. Yeah, the teenagers, army fatigues, you know what I mean? They
Mm-hmm.
help keep the boner down in school, and
Mm-hmm.
and they also help, the bread knife from, staying out of any protected areas.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure there's slips, like you're cutting
Hmm.
1,000 sandwiches a day. Eventually, you might slip up, and you don't want
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Like the weird part about sandwich artists is they do the exact opposite of what I was taught in woodworking class, which is cut away from yourself. They always cut towards themselves. So every single slice of a foot long is a liability to the artist.
Exactly. You're right. At least they don't cut like Kendall Jenner does. Have you seen? You watch the Kardashians, right? There's a clip where I think it went viral that she cut a cucumber by
Oh
holding
yes.
like she crossed her arms and was cutting it, and it just seemed very awkward because she was like holding on to the smaller end while cutting off the big end, and then there's it was a viral moment for the show, Ty, and I wouldn't want something embarrassing like that to happen in front of me while I'm ordering a footlong.
Mm-hmm. What's so funny about that iconic moment is the cucumber is the most obvious. It's so obvious how to cut that thing. Like I could forgive her for other vegetables, an onion, a carrot, even, but the cucumber, it knows how to be cut. It's asking you. The form is asking you. Kind of like the just cut your foot long lengthwise. You'd be like, "What the hell, man? Why did you do that? Like, are you new here?"
Yeah, that is like some breadstick type shape that could be interesting if it wasn't filled with ingredients, Ty. But yeah, I also believe they have some kind of slicing device in the back.
Mm,
We saw this, in our research early, early on the pod, um, where they'll just like rip through several vegetables, sometimes multiple vegetables at a time
mm,
through the slicer, kind of like at the deli. Gave
mm-hmm.
me real PTSD. They're pushing P, I'm pushing PTSD, and
Yeah, dude, they're pushing peppers through that thing.
peppers, very nice.
Peppers. I'm not really as concerned with that as I am with the final slice, Eric. That last
Mm.
big chop for the. You know what I'm going to ask my sandwich artist to do next time? I'm going to ask them for the Kendall crisscross when they cut my sandwich in half. Like,
when
can I get a
when the
little?
sound when the sandwich artist cuts themselves.
Yeah. Want to see a trick?
Yeah.
Be
Do you think?
funny.
Do you think the sandwich? Yeah. Do you want some extra sauce on that guy?
Yeah, a little extra marinara.
Damn. That's scary, man. I don't know if you can trust that many people with sharp objects. And like, you know, when you become a cop or something, you have to have like some kind of criminal background check in order to like wield a gun. What about Subway? Like, yeah, sure, we got to protect ourselves, but what about the safety of others? Do we ever consider the fact that these, dull knives could inflict some serious damage on an unsuspecting patron?
Yeah, that's a good call out. I think I'm I would be more concerned with their like mishandling of the food itself. And like most countries have some sort of like safety program before you work in food, right? But I
Hmm.
actually I don't really care about that. The knives are the important thing. But here's the like at any given time in America, I bet there's like 200 people juggling knives. Like right now, someone you know might be juggling a knife.
That sounds like a skill that you would possess. Like you have like weird juggling ability, and I feel like you've tried to juggle knives before. I already know that there's like some New Year's Eve clip of you, maybe like, 2012 or something, juggling steak knives.
Wow. You think you know me so well, Eric, but I have yet to ever juggle a knife. The only thing I'm juggling is all my priorities, all my brand deals, all my millions, all my
Pussy
friends,
and
you know?
millions. This guy's juggling pussy and millions, bro.
Yeah. So no
Damn.
knives have entered the equation yet. But the fact that people can be unlicensed to do that is like way more mind blowing than chopping a sandwich in half. But the challenge is like those people practice. Well, actually, sandwich artists practice too.
Yep.
How come they're both humans? These people can juggle them, and these people can't even cut my foot long perfectly in half. Like they always miss. It's always 6.5 inches on one side.
It's amazing how the same DNA can produce two different results, Ty.
Yeah. Like we're all human, but then I think about that situation and I think like, are we all human? Like, what's
I
going
mean,
on
it's a
here?
good question. Like, there's humans that have walked on the moon, you know
Hmm.
what I mean? And then there's there's also humans who like can't get a girl's number at the club, you know what I mean? Those are two probably the same person actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
If you've like made the decisions in life to end up like on the moon, if you've like navigated there in your life, then you probably haven't navigated into any pussy.
That's true. They're exploring a different type of unexplored territory.
Yeah, exactly, Ty. They're touching down in a different unknown territory. Wow.
Shout out to my astronauts. Like, if ladies like give the astronauts a chance.
Exactly. Houston, we have a problem. I can't get hard.
Damn.
Damn. Ty,
Yeah.
I want to tell you, I want to talk to you about some deportes today because we are well into the World Cup, and
Mm,
seeing as we are big beer bros, triple
mm-hmm,
Bs,
mm-hmm,
I wanted to, I don't know if you know this yet, but I wanted to just let you know that there is no beer at the World Cup. World Cup is in Qatar this year,
mm-hmm.
and they've banned beer in the stadium. So I just want to
Wow.
like dive into that with you because I think, you know, in your world, beer and sports are hand in hand. For me, it's Gatorade and sports go hand in hand. So I just want
Mm-hmm.
to get your take on how you feel about the beer being banned from the World Cup.
Well, let me tell you, Eric, never in my time did I think I would witness prohibition, but here we are.
This is
A-
prohibition.
This is prohibition. As you know, I don't ever roll up to any sports activation without at least one Budweiser to crack. Whether it be the tennis court, soccer
Hmm.
court, hockey court, basketball court, court of law.
Exactly.
I am present and I am buzzed. So I feel for both the patrons of these games as well as the players who don't have a cheeky shot of tequila before they run on to get the nerves out or a celebratory
Mm,
whiskey afterwards.
mm, absolutely. They're not even gonna pop champagne in the dressing room after the
Hmm.
World Cup. They're gonna, pop some like, I don't know, plum juice or something.
Yeah, dude, Qatar seems like the kind of place that would ban sparkling water. Like they got nothing to work with there.
They really
They're gonna throw
don't, Ty.
sand in the air.
Yeah, do they have electrolytes on hand even?
Yeah, maybe if they at least had the electrolyte powder. That would be the easiest thing to probably smuggle in.
Hmm. You're absolutely right.
How do you feel about
But
it, Eric?
I mean, I feel I'm conflicted, Ty. I feel two ways on it. One is, I feel sad because this is a global sport and nothing brings together people like alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like when you go to a bar and I don't know, then maybe it's like France versus Belgium, and then you got like, you know, one French guy and one German guy, and then the German guy and the French guy, are cheering for France, and you go, Yeah, let's cheers to that. That's a beautiful moment right there. It's like they're from two different places, but we can unite ourselves. We can align ourselves to this one team.
Hmm.
Um, and that simply does not exist. Also, there's like big like fighting culture in the FIFA stands. So that won't be taking place as much. Maybe
Hmm.
more. I don't know, Ty. I'm out on that one. I don't know which way it's gonna swing. Because just being so sober would piss me off as much
Oh
as
yeah,
much as my team losing.
it's
Um,
it's tough because sports are like fun and all, but it's the beer that you're drinking while doing the sport that adds the flavor. Like that's where it gets
quite
interesting.
literally.
Both playing the sport and watching. It's kind of like the sauce of this. If sports were a sandwich, it's like going to Subway and getting a foot long, and then in Qatar they don't no sauce for your sandwich. It took the fun out of it. It took the flavor out of it, the soul.
They took the soul out. They took the soul out of me. What is
Yeah.
that? Fuck, what is it? So that's from a song. But the other part of me is happy because they're like, you know what? This is our culture, and we're gonna say fuck everyone.
Hmm.
No one is allowed to drink, and I kind of respect that too. This big alpha host city energy.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways it's like kind of cool. In other ways, when they're like, "Hey, you don't be gay," it's like, do you really got to be like that?"
Today I feel gay.
Yeah. Don't tell the Qatari government that. But I understand like where you're coming though. From a beer perspective, it's more just like we don't really do that here. Try some of our plum juice, and in like things that are less like life or death, I could kind of get down to try the local cuisine, which is um free spirited, I guess you could say.
Wow, very well said, Ty. It's free of
Hmm.
spirits as well.
Hmm.
Um, Damn. Well, I'll be consuming the games at home where I have my Budweiser on tap.
Hmm.
I actually installed a tap in my sink just for Budweiser, and
Mm.
I will be waking up at 7 a.m., drinking Budweiser, sleeping from 11 till 4, and then, going out at night. That'll be my schedule for the next little while. But happy to say that Croatia beat cursed the cursed Canadian team. Pretty
Mm.
happy about that.
Yeah, that must have been a very divisive game for your
So,
bloodline.
yeah, you'd be surprised at how one-sided it was for me in my head, Ty. I have no allegiance to the Canadian soccer team. They don't even call it football.
That's a good point. I mean, fair enough. The Canadian is they're not known for their soccer, their football. They why would they have any loyalty? They haven't done anything to prove themselves yet.
Literally, that was their first goal ever in the World Cup.
Hmm. I'm just happy they got one, I guess.
That's how nice Canadians are. It's like the Raptors, get knocked out, get swept in the first round of the playoffs. It's like I'm just happy they made it to the
Yeah,
playoffs.
go team.
Yeah. I
Damn.
did see your favorite team blow out the Cavs last night. This is a
Yeah.
sports podcast now, by the way.
That was the second time they've played the Cavs this season. The second time they've whooped their ass. Cavs are such a funny team. It's like they assembled every tall white guy in the NBA and they said you're all on one team now.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, you know what? Let me just look at my calendar here. Um, where is it? Not this week, Ty, but next week. The Raptors are playing the Lakers on Wednesday, December 7th.
Really
And
cross
yeah,
conferential.
exactly. And what I think we should do, Ty, this could be a horrible idea or a really brilliant idea. We should go to our studio,
Hmm.
watch the game live on TV,
Hmm.
and record a listen along episode.
Ooh, that's a
Could
kind
even
of a
live
fun
stream it. Could live stream it, or we can just like watch the game and talk during the game,
a
like
two
post.
hour long podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm open to this. I do want to see the Raptors trump the Lakers. Eric's team is the Lakers. He's been very vocal about that in the past.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'll be pretty fun. We could we don't have to talk about basketball the entire time. We can just talk and then comment on the game occasionally. I think it'll be pretty fun.
Mm.
Workshop this new format for the show. I think, in the pursuit of always improving, constant iteration, I think it'd be pretty fun.
You have to take one step back sometime to get two steps forward. So I'm open to this idea.
Excellent. I'll see you on
It's
Wednesday.
it's funny because it's like there's already commentators for the game. So how do we add new value here?
Well, Ty, we're not going to be on TV, so we can say, bad words,
Good
and we
point.
can we can call, we can call what's a bald guy on the Raptors?
Oh, I don't think they draft bold people.
Okay, well, we can find a bald guy and then call him an egg, things
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. I'm sure there'll be one of the actual commentators is probably bald. I feel like that's a good job for bald people.
Exactly. We can keep the commentating to the eggs,
Hmm.
and me and you can actually be like interesting and funny,
Yeah,
unlike this podcast.
exactly. Yeah, the Andrew Tate can be courtside commentating on the game, and we can commentate
Hmm.
on them.
Yeah, exactly.
They always say funny things. They're always like, "That's a doozy," or like, "Oh, another bucket." Stupid.
So many buckets.
So many buckets.
Wow. Yeah, dude, that'd be pretty fun. Um, what else should we talk about? We had an activation last Friday night.
Hmm.
Um, you know, Not related to the reason we missed the episode.
Loosely
But we
related.
did, well, somewhat related. We went for a Fairmont bar activation.
Hmm. Yeah, turned up
No.
to the lobby bar. When I walked into the lobby bar, Eric, sans your arrival to hunker down at a table, the live band was playing Funky Town, and
Okay.
it felt like I was in like a Star Wars movie because they had like kind of some Christmassy vibes, but not really. It was kind of posh, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was
Mm-hmm.
live music, but they were playing catchy music, and I thought, what's going on here?
Yeah, that place just reminds me of like corporate holiday parties because everyone's
Hmm.
like kind of like business casual and like it's like, oh God, like Bob's getting footloose. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's like Bob from accounting is like, moving his hips. This is awkward. And it's hard to get a table, but luckily for me and LP, we pulled up just as you guys were about to leave, and then let's just say the tab got reopened.
I love reopening the tab. When you turn to the server and say, "We're going to reopen the tab," so fun.
I
Especially because
love
now
that.
they have to go back to the hostess and then tell the hostess, and then the hostess has to tell the group waiting that their table actually isn't ready.
Oh, that is
It's like
pretty funny.
everybody has to hit Command Z like down the chain.
Exactly. Bartender has to like start immediately pouring another Bud Light.
Hmm.
Um, that's one thing I actually liked about the bar, Ty. We had tableside Bud pour.
Hmm.
Normally they do it behind the bar, which in this case was like 300 yards away.
Hmm.
But for us, they walked this nice little um, bottle over to us, poured
Bottle
it right.
service.
Yeah, bottle service. We have bottle service at the Fairmont, Ty.
Bud Light
Just no
bottle
sparklers,
service.
no
No.
flashing those like flashlights that they have at clubs.
Dude, that would be such a funny request though to pop a sparkler in the Bud Light. Say like, yo,
Oh,
you could get the server to do it. It's my birthday, or here's a 20. Can you just like do this for the scene?
do it for the scene. That would be nice. I would love to do something like that one day. I've never like had the opportunity to have any kind of sparkler in my life.
What?
Yeah.
You've had a sad childhood then, Eric.
When have you had a sparkler other than a birthday?
I mean, you just encounter sparklers. People bring them to New Year's parties, weddings.
Well, I've encountered them, but I've never been the subject of a sparkler.
Oh, I see. Well, next for your birthday, I'll shove a sparkler into your BMT.
Big meaty tush.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Ty. Thank you. Um, yeah, what did you drink? We had Bud Lights. I had an espresso martini, some table nuts.
Yeah, I love the tableside nuts. I was stuffed. I had like a few courses prior to that arrival, so I could barely get into the wasabi peas. But uh, prior to your arrival, I was ordering.
Sorry. I just think it was really funny when I sat down and then you like move the bowl of wasabi peas over to me and you're like, they dropped these like nuts off. Do you want them? uh,
Yeah, airdrop at delivery. The the cocktail menu was a little lackluster, I thought, but I still ordered one. It was like I said I got this like hibiscus champagne beverage that, uh,
oh.
in retrospect, it was far too feminine for me, but still fun to take for a spin.
I saw the snap you sent me and you were holding like it looked like a mini like goblet or something.
Hmm.
And your bay had like a girly, it looked pretty girly, and I immediately assumed that you had swapped the drinks for the photo. Are
Hmm.
you telling me that you actually ordered the girlier drink,
Yeah,
or
no,
is the goblet in question the girly one?
I hate to drop this truth bomb on you, Eric, but I, in fact, ordered the more feminine of the two beverages. And this is my biggest problem with cocktail bars that they don't like. I love the ones that put a little silhouette of the glassware next to the beverage because I usually can't dissect what like cocktail topography their like weird take on the GNT is until I see the glassware, and then I can see like if it's like a chody glass, that's for a man. If it's a long, slender, curvy glass, that's for a woman. Uh, I
Mm.
don't make those rules up. Those are gender stereotypes around glassware. Feel free to break them.
I
I'm
mean,
just
Ty, you've nailed it. I mean, the shorter the glass, the wider and shorter it is, the manlier it is, and that's because that's where a stiff drink gets poured. And women always
mhm.
take a sip, and they're always like, "Oh, it's so strong. How can you drink this shit?" And
Bleh,
you
bleh.
say, "Babe, it's from the barrel.
It's barrel aged.
This is barrel aged right
And
here."
you take a big whiff of that. Yum.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, you gotta force it down because your manhood's on the line. If you can't stomach that hibiki, then
Mhm.
your ass is on the curb after that. But I think there's like a couple levels. Like there is a little dainty little glass on a stem is usually the girliest, but then I think like the long slender highball is kind of like a like non-binary option.
Mhm. I feel like the martini is also a non-binary option.
Thanks to James Bond. Before James Bond, that was also pretty feminine looking because it kind of reminds me of Sex and the City moms, you
Mm.
know?
Yes, yes. In a way, like the James Bond is doing for the martini what Harry Styles is doing for skirts, you know?
I was like hoping you weren't gonna say Kid Cudi in the dress because that's a little too far even for me, Ty. But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
Harry Styles with the painted nails, I think we can all get behind straight men alike.
I think so. Like that, you want to paint my nails. Usually my
Yeah,
nails
maybe.
are a little red or orange from my foot long, but
Yeah. Makes me want to just lift up Harry's skirt and see what he's working with.
see what's hairy under there.
Yeah.
Little hairy under there. Yuck. I don't like
Uh,
where this conversation is going. The point is, I ordered a feminine beverage. It wasn't worth the money. It cost like $23. I'm
so
usually,
give me.
yeah.
So this is really funny because things are starting to add up on not on your favorite Ty, but you ordered a girly drink, and from what I remember, Bay paid for it. Care to
Ooh.
explain yourself?
It does look like I'm the one being wined and dined. Uh, yes. So the information you're missing, Eric, is prior to your arrival, I I paid the first bill and I
Oh.
popped the card down for the dinner bill prior, which was like 3x, even like the most expensive cocktail at least. So I had already my rocket was skint by that point.
Oh, man, I love that you had to defend yourself there, Ty. I appreciate that. Um, Good for you. I'm happy that you had a great night. And for the folks listening, do you care to share any details of your dinner activation?
Oh, it was a pretty simple evening. I was posted up at the bar at Nightingale. Ordered a few, got the tableside olives, got a few of the different pastas. You know the deal. I didn't dabble in pizzas. I had a lot of pizza previously that week. Um, it's the same thing as like the the pizza sub. You know, you can only get it so frequently. Although for some
Mm.
people, the pizza sub is the only sub on the menu. Pizza sub, actually, I'm gonna retract what I said earlier about the pizza sub wearing off. Pizza sub lovers, Eric, they don't even see a menu. They just eat the pizza sub. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I think a lot of people who eat at Subway don't see the menu. And
They're,
I'm starting to think like, is it a symptom of like not knowing exactly what the sandwich will look like, kind of like in the bar situation?
hmm
It's like I don't know what the silhouette of this like steak and cheese is gonna be, so I'm just gonna go for the pizza sub. You know what I mean?
I think so. Like there's two camps of people. There's like your traditionalist, which is like they only see pizza Subway. They don't see the other options, right?
Yeah,
And then you have your
yeah.
more like progressive types, a little bit more experimental. I would call them like the chicken teriyaki 6 9s, you know, teriyaki 6. um, eh, they're like really making some weird shit, and they're getting in a little trouble for doing it. Uh,
Hmm.
so pick what side of the coin you're on, Eric. I know you're a traditionalist. I like to think of myself as pursuit of novelty. So,
That's right. I am a traditionalist as well. Or no, I am the traditionalist of this podcast. It's kind of like at a bar as well. You get like the classics. You know what I mean? Like when you get the cocktail menu, it's like
mm,
broken up into the classics and then also like our signatures. So it's like you get a martini maybe, and then on the other side you get like, oh, this is the yuzu martini or some shit, and like we invented that.
yeah, you always
I
have
don't
the old
usually
school and new
dabble in that.
school. I
Yeah, I
like
don't
the new
usually
school.
dabble because I like to go with what I'm used to, Ty, and that's how I know it's good because I've had 100 of them already. And when it's
Mm,
like a 9 out of 10, I will know.
I guess so. But if you've had it 100 times, you're just repeating an experience you like for yourself. How do you know that there aren't better experiences out there? How do you know that
Mm,
maybe combining guac with tuna isn't the best sandwich you've ever had unless you try?
I mean, that is a great perspective and a healthy one, Ty, an adventurous one.
Mhm.
I can see why you have so many friends. Yeah, I don't know. It depends on my mood, I guess. Like if I'm in a, I want to be in a comfortable scenario
Mhm.
and I want to, you know, I don't want to have to like make any new decisions today. Tonight I'm all about winding down and
Mhm.
relaxing with a nice glass.
Mhm.
Um, it'll be from the bookmarks, you know?
Mhm. The pursuit of comfort. That there's nothing more relaxing to Eric than a warm, steamy bite of BMT in his mouth.
Exactly. No matter where you are in the world, Ty, you ordered a footlong herbs and cheese
Mm,
BMT with Southwest sauce or an
mhm.
equivalent. You know, sometimes you don't always get the name, the name brand. But get that with some sweet onion, boom, bada bing, bada boom. I'm back in Chinatown.
Mhm. Comfort food, baby. I wonder if
Exactly.
Eric's heart rate is going up or going down as he bites into his go-to footlong. Like, is
My
he
breathing,
relaxing? Yeah.
my heart rate slows down dangerously, but also my breathing increases. So it's kind of
Mm,
like the double negative there.
some heavy panting.
Exactly. Wow.
Wow. I feel like we got through a lot today, King. How about you?
We covered a myriad of topics today, Ty. Hopefully, one of which at least was interesting to the listener.
I hope so too.
Yeah, it probably have to do with your girly drinks. I think that was the highlight of the show.
Maybe for you. I liked talking about FIFA. Okay, King.
Statistics will show that most people will probably identify with a FIFA conversation
Mm-hmm.
than your little rosé goblet.
Not gonna overrated guys. Like, get over it. They're just kicking a ball around. It'd be way harder if there's less people on the field, it was smaller, and they had to throw the ball in a hoop. I think that'd be more interesting.
Mm. I would love to see you do anything with your feet, Ty.
Oh, I got moves.
I would love to see it.
Yeah, your foot
Well,
longing for
breadheads,
that.
I've been foot longing for your feet for a long time, Ty, and I'm not talking about your actual feet. I'm talking about your foot long order.
Yeah. Well, we're overdue for a Subway visit.
We sure are. Maybe Wednesday we'll get a sub. We should eat,
Woo!
drink, and watch the game in the studio live on air. I think that'd be pretty fun.
Wow. What a trifecta.
Hmm.
All
Well,
right, King.
King, it's been a pleasure.
It
Breadheads,
sure
thank you.
has. Thank you, breadheads. Ciao.
Ciao.